In today's video, we're going to be covering a topic that I know a number of gamers out there struggle with from time to time, and that is getting stressed or raging when playing video games. So by definition, a game is an activity that one engages in for amusement or fun. But unfortunately, amusement and fun isn't always the byproduct of gaming, but rather a lot of gamers these days get really highly stressed, anxious, angry, or even depressed as a result of playing video games. And today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my journey through experiencing these types of emotions on a pretty consistent basis when gaming, through to the point that I'm at today where I very rarely get worked up while playing video games. And on a very consistent basis, I can sit down and really enjoy myself when playing games. If you like this type of video and want to hear more about my journey with gaming and life in general, make sure that you let me know in the comments. And if you hit the like button, this video will get pushed out to a larger audience, and I'd really love to help out as many gamers as humanly possible. So please consider tapping that like button. But anyway, where do we begin? Well, from the beginning, I guess. I've played video games almost my entire life. This clip right here is me receiving my first ever gaming console back in like 1995 or something. The original Nintendo. And you can see from the get-go that I love video games. Growing up, I have nothing but fond memories of gaming. Whether it was doing speedruns in Super Mario, or racing against my brother in Mario Kart, or even trying to finish with a perfect score on Yoshi's Island, there was always something in common. It was just so much fun and so enjoyable. Flash forward 25 years or so, and gaming has changed significantly. The friendly competition between siblings and close friends has really transformed into mass competition against people of all ages, from all over the world, sometimes even playing on different gaming platforms than you. That's insane! But not only has the competitiveness changed, so has the skill level. People are getting into gaming at much younger ages, playing non-stop to master their skill set, and unleashing said skills upon the rest of the world. And how are they achieving this? Through competition and through striving to be the best. To have the best kill-death ratio, the fastest speedrun, and the biggest base. And this really begs the question, where does it all end? Well, to be honest with you, it doesn't. It's an ongoing cycle of play, compete, win or lose, and repeat. So where is the room for enjoyment? Where is the room for the casual gamer? I first noticed that I had a problem with getting stressed while playing games a few years back. I remember it pretty well. I was playing PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I'd started to get pretty darn good at the game, and there were leaderboards, so I had a chance to validate my skills and show people what I was made of. And that sentence right there, in itself, was the root of my problem. There were three main areas that I identified as problems, and the cause of my dissatisfaction when gaming. The first one being seeking validation from others. Long story short, no one cares. Pretty much, you work hard to get this validation and beat yourself up when inevitably no one actually gives a shit if you have a 30% headshot ratio. Seriously. But that doesn't matter because there's a constant in this situation. You have the ability to identify your own successes and also to identify areas for improvement. Striving for the approval of other people is an exhausting and empty game. Learning to seek approval and acceptance from within yourself is much more consistent, and it really is a lot more rewarding. Number 2, unrealistic standards. By setting the bar too high, you really set yourself up to fail. If my goal in PUBG was that every game I would get 20 kills, I'd feel like absolute shit about myself, because that only happens every once in a while, so the other games would be a failure to me. And from my experience, when your bar is set so high, even when you do accomplish this insane goal, the feeling you're left with is more so relief than accomplishment or happiness. Now, please don't mistake this for me saying that you shouldn't have goals, because that's not at all what I'm saying. My point is, push yourself to achieve realistic goals, which will leave you with a feeling of success and drive you to achieve the next goal, without that constant confrontation of not achieving and doubting your own abilities. If I related this directly to my experience with PUBG, A goal for each match would be to get 3 or 4 kills, or get a kill in a funny or interesting way, and simply accept the fact that there are 100 people in this game that I'm trying to win, and everyone has the same goal. So I'm going to get beaten time and time again, and that really is completely fine, because who knows, the next game I jump into, I might just achieve my goal. The third and final problem area that I want to talk about today is comparing yourself to others. This idea is very closely connected to having unrealistic standards. Everyone wants to have Shroud-like abilities, but very few people will ever achieve such a high level or skill in gaming. By comparing yourself to professional players and successful streamers, you're really missing out on what is actually important, which is focusing on your own realistic goals and creating motivation to achieve your goals from within. And don't get me wrong, this is not easy to do and can be a matter of it's much easier said than done. Personally, as a Twitch streamer and a YouTube content creator, it's really hard to not compare yourself to other channels who are more successful than you, getting more views, more interaction, more comments. But focusing on those things is really a losing game when, I could have been putting that energy into making YouTube content, streaming more regularly, and working on myself. So from a point of getting pretty highly strung and even angry when I played video games, I've applied these 3 concepts and really worked to a point where gaming is so enjoyable for me again. I can play without feeling like I have to prove myself or feeling like gaming is a chore, because at the end of the day, it really should be enjoyable. And don't get me wrong, there's still times that I get a bit stressed or annoyed when playing games, but by keeping these core concepts in mind, it doesn't take much to, refocus my attention to what's really important, which is feeling good about yourself and having a good time. And to be completely honest, the best thing that's come from me learning these mental skills or approaches to gaming is that they are all directly translatable to everyday life outside of gaming. Whether it's seeking validation from co-workers or friends, or setting a goal to finish all your work in half the time, or even comparing yourself to, the best basketball player at your school, or the fastest sprinter. These are all ways in which certain people can really end up just beating themselves up. And I really do find it pretty interesting how much an attitude towards gaming can really translate into how you approach things in your everyday lives. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. As I said, if you would like to see more videos like this in the future, make sure you let me know, and consider subscribing to the channel if you want to keep up with future uploads. But hey, thank you so much for watching and listening. If this video has helped at least one person, then I'm happy about that. But until next time guys, have a good one.